Have you ever stopped to think that your birthday might be more than just a simple number on the calendar? What if I told you that the month you were born in carries a unique energy, a secret code that reveals deep parts of who you truly are? Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, believed that the universe does nothing by chance, and the moment of your birth is an invitation to a journey of self-discovery. Imagine discovering that January is not just winter, but an ancestral archetype of the silent sage, or that August brings with its light the call of the radiant leader. This is not about horoscopes or empty mysticism, but about universal patterns that shape your personality, your challenges, and even your purpose. What does your birth month say about your soul's mission? Jung called these forces archetypes, primordial, images that live in the collective unconscious. They are like invisible melodies playing deep within you, influencing your choices, fears, and talents. Are you listening to yours, or are you letting that wisdom lie dormant? This is not an invitation to fit into a label, but to recognize yourself, because deep down, you already feel these truths. Maybe it's the intuition that you were born to lead, the melancholy that arises in certain seasons, or that creativity that insists on pulsing, even when you ignore it. If you're tired of superficial answers and are searching for real understanding of who you are, you're in the right place. Because self-knowledge isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And the first step? Look at the calendar with new eyes. In the coming chapters, we'll unveil, month by month, the archetypes that shape your story. Get ready. What you discover may change not just how you see yourself, but how you live. The journey begins now. Archetypes and the soul's secret language. Carl Jung saw the human psyche as a vast ocean, where ancestral memories and universal symbols dive deep. These invisible patterns, which he called archetypes, are like marks left by humanity in our unconscious. They are not rules, but deep tendencies that shape our fears, desires, and even the way we love. Have you ever felt a chill when hearing certain stories or been moved by symbols that seem to speak directly to your heart? That's the power of archetypes at work. Nature also dances to this rhythm. The seasons are not just climate changes, they are cycles of life, death, and rebirth that echo within us. Those born in the vibrant heat of summer carry a different energy from those who arrive in the introspective silence of winter. Jung saw this as cosmic harmony. Your birth month is the first melody your soul heard when entering this world. But be careful. This is not destiny. It's an invitation. Archetypes are tools to understand your strengths and weaknesses, not prisons. For example, someone born in April may have the courage of the warrior, but also a tendency to act before thinking. The challenge is not to change who you are, but to master that energy. The collective unconscious is like a sacred library where all human experiences are stored. Your dreams, your passions, and even those choices you can't explain may be linked to these symbols. When you recognize these patterns, you gain the power to write your story with more awareness. Jung didn't want us to see archetypes like horoscopes. They are mirrors reflecting parts of ourselves that we haven't yet explored. If you were born in September, you may have the analytical mind of the perfectionist, but also the lesson of learning to embrace chaos. In October, diplomacy may be your gift, but also your challenge, because peace is not avoiding conflict, but facing it with wisdom. In the end, it all comes down to a journey back to yourself. Archetypes are compasses, not predetermined paths. And when you understand this secret language, every choice, every challenge, and every victory gains deeper meaning. You're not just living, you're decoding the language of your own soul. The dance of the archetypes. January to June. The first 6 months of the year form a complete cycle of transformation, each with its own unique voice in the chorus of existence. Those who arrive in January carry the serenity of winter. These are souls who possess wisdom beyond their years, as if they were born with deep roots. But beware, this same introspection can become a prison of isolation when the light of spontaneity is denied. February brings the wind of reinvention. Its archetype is the visionary, one who sees the world not as it is, but as it could be. Rebels at heart, these individuals often feel out of place because their true home is the future. The challenge? To keep their feet on the ground while their eyes gleam with distant horizons. When March arrives, life awakens. Those born in this transitional month are marked by duality. Like spring, they swing between the melancholy of winter and the euphoria of summer. Their strength lies in resilience, but their shadow emerges when emotions become mazes with no exit. April is pure action. Its warrior archetype doesn't ask permission. It charges forward. Brave and intense, these individuals are sparks in the midst of monotony. However, without self-control, this same flame can burn precious bridges. May breathes art and patience. Its children are weavers of everyday beauty, finding poetry in the simple. The danger, mistaking comfort for stagnation, like a flower that refuses to bloom out of fear of the wind. And then comes June. The mediator, a natural diplomat. This soul knows how to unite opposites with grace. But when the desire for harmony overshadows inner truth, they lose themselves in the role of eternal peacemaker. Each month is an invitation to recognize your gifts, face your shadows, and above all, to remember that you are more than an archetype. You are a being in constant evolution. Which of these energies resonates with your story? The circle completes. July to December. July arrives with its warm, protective embrace. Those born under this month carry a rare gift, turning houses into homes and groups into families. Their instinct to care for others is as natural as breathing, but this same generosity can conceal a trap, the forgetting of oneself. August brings the archetype of the sovereign, one born to lead. Their presence commands respect effortlessly, like a lighthouse in the fog. However, when confidence turns into arrogance, this leader can become a lonely tyrant, surrounded by followers, yet devoid of true connection. September is the month of the mind's architect. Methodical and insightful, these individuals see patterns where others see chaos. Their pursuit of perfection builds bridges to the future, but when discipline turns to rigidity, life loses its spontaneous magic. October dances with the grace of the diplomat. Their art is weaving understanding between opposites, turning conflict into dialogue. Yet their fear of disharmony can silence their own voice, like a musician who plays only to please the audience. November holds the mysteries of the alchemist. These souls understand that every pain carries a seed of transformation. Their path is deep and solitary, but when darkness is avoided instead of faced, true transmutation never occurs. December closes the cycle with the sacred visionary. Its children see the world through the lens of hope and accumulated wisdom. The risk? Living so immersed in ideals that the beauty of the present goes unnoticed, like a prophet who fails to see the miracle around them. Each of these months offers a gift and a challenge, two sides of the same cosmic coin. To recognize yourself in these archetypes is not about defining who you are, but about freeing yourself to write your story with full awareness. Which of these energies speaks most deeply to your essence? Writing your own destiny. The true power of this knowledge doesn't lie in labeling your existence, but in illuminating paths that once seemed obscure. Carl Jung gifted us a map, but the choices along the journey are still yours. Every step, every turn, every new beginning. Archetypes are not prisons, but mirrors reflecting your deepest potential. When you recognize yourself in April's warrior or December's visionary, you are simply discovering the colors of the palette with which you can paint your life. The art lies in blending them wisely. Maybe now that trait of yours that always puzzled you makes sense. Your need to care, your creative rebellion, or your relentless search for meaning. These are echoes of the archetype born with you, but that you can learn to play like a finely tuned instrument. But remember, none of these patterns is a sentence. January's sage can learn to dance. August's leader can discover humility. June's mediator can find an unshakable voice. The magic happens precisely in the space between what we inherit and what we choose to become. This is not an invitation to fit into categories, but to transcend limits. Your birth month is the starting point, never the final destination. Like a seed that carries within it the potential of a tree but must break through the earth to become what it's meant to be. Self-knowledge is the bravest of adventures because it demands we face both our light and our shadow. But only by embracing this totality do we discover our true strength. Not the strength of the archetype, but the one that is born when we transcend it. Now that you hold these keys, what will you do with them? Will you keep following unconscious patterns, or will you use this understanding to finally write the story that only you can tell? The calendar of your soul awaits its next page.